Good morning, friends. So this video today is about our trip to the mainland. We have to go to the hospital, and therefore it's kind of an expedition. It's a little something that people don't kind of take into consideration when they think about island life. Going to the hospital becomes kind of a 3-day trip. So this is what I am showing you here. We've boarded the ferry and they are just putting the big ramp up, and we are about to kind of sail any minute. So there are two ports on the island of Islay. One of them is Port Askig and then the other is Port Ellen. I'm showing you Port Ellen here because that's where we sailed out from. Today on this journey, it's a really pretty little fishing village. Lots of fishing boats come in and out of here. You can just see on the far right of that last clip, there's some fishermen taking fish into that van, sorry. So I always really like this view whenever we leave the island. I just think to see the island in panoramic view and to kind of move away from it is just an amazing feeling. Knowing that that's our home and that's where we live, it makes you very, very grateful for it when you see the beauty and you have that perspective. Okay, so here we are sailing out of Port Ellen, and you can see this block here, this white tower is actually a lighthouse. It's a really interestingly shaped lighthouse. This is a really beautiful little bit of beach here, and then just on the far left here, I'll show you again in a second, there is a strip of sand. That's actually called the Singing Sands, and it's because the sand is full of quartz. So when the wind blows through it, it looks like it's singing. You can just see it right here. There it is. It's a very, very beautiful little part of the island. And this lighthouse here is really fun to go to. It's got like a very rickety little bridge to it. Instrument, isn't it?
Safety, you should remain calm and follow the advice of the crew members in your assembly stations. Disabled and elderly passengers are advised that, in an emergency, they should proceed to the nearest assembly station and make themselves known to a crew member.
So it's a 2-hour crossing from Islay to the mainland. which is quite some time to keep 3 children entertained, and usually there is a little child area where they can go to play. Obviously, due to social distancing at the moment and the restrictions, that was off limits, so we were a little bit restricted this time in what we could do and where we could go. There was a one-way system on the ferry and that type of thing, so we did go and spend a lot of time on the deck, as you can see outside. Usually in the summer this is utterly mobbed, but there was just us. Don't pull on the ropes. Wait for mummy. Isn't that amazing? You can sit on the seat, stay with mummy. So now we have pretty much made the crossing, and this land on either side now is the mainland. And as you can see, we're now back in the car. You have to kind of get in your car, I think it's like 15 minutes or so before you actually dock, and then you're kind of just waiting, and it is fun, but as you can see, the kids do get a little bit agitated. They're tired. They've been running around the ferry for 2 hours, and most of them, you know, they've been up early and they just, you know, they're ready for a sleep. As you can see here, everybody now goes to sleep. Scotland is, well, going to any part of the mainland is quite a challenge, really. It's a little bit like being put in a pinball machine. It's just so different from island life, and there's so much to take in. It's just so different, and I didn't actually get a lot of footage of the mainland because there was just so much to take in, and the children aren't used to the traffic, and it's really important that we kind of have all hands on deck and we are, super focused on what we're doing. But we do some really fun things that are a real novelty to the children and a real treat, like going to a drive-through, the McDonald's drive-through, and a big superstore like Tesco or Asda. They get to see toys and clothes. All of those things are a super fun thing to do. This time around, we didn't do our usual things due to the restrictions. There was a lot of places still closed. And obviously our main focus was to go to our hospital appointments, which took up a lot of time, but we still did get to do a few little things that the kids really loved. But it is a challenge, it's very chaotic, and I really struggle with the traffic the most when we do go. And just the sheer amount of choice in the shops, it always blows my mind. So this area, we're still on mainland Scotland here, but we are headed back. And this is called the Rest and the Thankful, this area. It's really beautiful, but they've been doing a lot of work because there's been a lot of landslides on the mountains.
You take your headphones off.
I can see a bubble. I can see the bubble now. Ah.
So we are now back on island territory. This is the Isle of Isla here, and on the other side of the ferry is the island of Jura. I didn't get any footage of that though. However, you can't see it very clearly, so I can't actually point it out to you. but just in the middle of the screen there is a teeny tiny little house. It's actually called a boothie, and it's like a shelter for walkers and hikers and explorers. I couldn't get it on the screen though, but there are lots of those dotted around the island, and it feels so good at this point to just be away from the hustle and the bustle, and just be back on island territory where there's so much space and light, and you just have a real gratitude for the place that you live.